a brand new episode of Health 360. I'm Sneha Mordani. This time of the year, you are bothered by problems like dry skin, lackluster hair, stiffness in your joints, aches and pains. It's winter and winter requires special care for your body, and that's why in this episode, we're going to tell you how to tackle with the common winter problems, the kind of food you must eat, the kind of exercises that you must do to keep these issues at bay. We're trying to get you winter ready. This is our winter care special. What you eat in winters is very different from what you eat in summers. In winters, you look at consuming warm foods, foods that help you boost immunity and also have the ability to tackle niggling winter problems. Here is a complete lowdown on the food items you must consume during the season. Come winter starts the problem of stuffy, dry nose, cold, cough and body aches. And to keep our immunity up to the mark, it's important to eat the right kind of food. With season change, our food habits also change. It is absolutely imperative to eat right, and what we eat in summers is actually very different from what we eat in winters. You walk into any vegetable market this winter season and the range of vegetables that you can choose from is simply incredible. From different types of saag to methi, palak, cabbage, red cabbage, beetroot. Many of these vegetables are in fact best in their form during the winter season and have a host of benefits.
Lots of green leafy vegetables helps us in fighting against lot of diseases like heart disease, cancer, and also helps in the reduction of weight. It also helps in the keeping our gut healthy.
Next on our list is Desi Jaggery or Gur. Jaggery is an unrefined natural sugar that is produced without adding any chemicals. Here's a fun fact. More than 70% of the total world jaggery production is done in India. Jaggery is considered a superfood as it contains more vitamins and minerals and has low sucrose content than compared to white sugar. Here is an important use of jaggery during winter polluted months.
Jaggery helps in clearing the mucus from the lungs and respiratory tract, which helps ease breathing difficulties. Jaggery has anti-allergic properties, detox and relax the muscles, respiratory muscles.
Another food that we all should be turning to is what is being pushed by India is an alternate crop, the humble millet.
भारत विश्व में मिलेट्स का सबसे बड़ा उत्पादक देश है, इसलिए इस पहल को सफल बनाने की बड़ी जिम्मेदारी भी हम भारतवासियों के कंधे पर ही है। हम सबको मिलकर इसे जन आंदोलन बनाना है और देश के लोगों में मिलेट्स के प्रति जागरूकता भी बढ़ानी है।
There are 9 types of millets in the country, of which bajra and ragi are particularly good for immunity. Both have high fiber content and protein. But how does millet keep us warm?
It helps in increasing the blood circulation and raising the body temperature. So in winters, to keep ourselves warm, we should have bajra.
Dates is next on our list. These are available all year round but are good in winters as they nourish and hydrate the skin. Dates contain fiber, calcium and iron. During the winter season, we have to ensure enough intake of vitamin C to ensure colds and flu is kept at bay. And for this, the best source in this vegetable market is this, the amla. Now because of the taste, it might be difficult to consume amla in its raw form. However, overwashing it or overcooking amla is simply not advisable. Last on our list, ghee or clarified butter. About 1 teaspoon of ghee daily helps stay warm in the winters, but it is important to consume ghee in moderation and not overeat it. With Sonali Acharji in Delhi, Sneha Mordani for India Today. Consider adding these spices to your meals or try and consume them in some way or the other, because these are spices that will help you boost immunity and keep off infection and inflammation. Top of the list, and my personal favorite, is turmeric, also known as haldi. It's a great antioxidant. It's anti-inflammatory. It helps ward off, fight off flus and colds during this time of the year. Also, it supports healthy joint function. Basil is the second one, also known as tulsi, which has the properties to heal microbial illnesses and also strengthen immunity. Third one, ginger, a very warm spice known for strong warming effects on the body. Cinnamon again works wonders. It contains antioxidants that help fight infection and inflammation, very common during this time of the year. Black pepper again extremely popular, used during winters because of its various properties, antibacterial characteristics, which aids in preventing spread of cold and flu. Let's now give you a sense of the vegetables that you must pick and choose from during the winter season. Also extremely popular for the vegetables that it offers a variety. It offers us, to begin with, radish, which is often available only during the winter season. Rich in vitamins B and C, potassium, it works wonders as an anti-inflammatory and also as an antioxidant. Cabbage, very rich in fiber and helps in controlling blood sugar and also maintain weight. Beetroot, a wonder vegetable in every sense, rich in potassium, rich in magnesium, which helps in synthesis of collagen, rich in folate as well. Carrots, often used during this time of the year in different forms. It is extremely rich in beta-carotene, rich in antioxidants. Sweet potatoes, sweet, however, low on glycemic index and rich in fiber, rich in beta-carotene. Red cabbage, again, a vegetable which is extremely healthy, a good source of potassium and manganese. Vitamin D deficiency is a problem throughout the year, more so in the winters, often when the sun is not out. But did you know that there are very few sources of vitamin D through our food? In fact, vegetarian sources of vitamin D are actually sparse, and that's the reason why you need to do the following things to get vitamin D. First of all, the best source of vitamin D is a natural source, the sun. Get as much as sunshine as possible to ensure that there is very little or absolutely no vitamin D deficiency. Salmon is a great source of vitamin D, and that's the reason why non-vegetarians must certainly consider it. Other foods like tuna, which has high levels of omega-3 fatty acids, which also help reduce the level of LDL cholesterol. Egg yolks do make a great source of vitamin D. There are many people who are vegetarians but consume eggs. Egg yolks are great. You must continue to consume them. Also, in terms of vegetarian food items, fortified foods like fortified cereals, fortified milk, fortified orange juice, or fortified yogurt, all of these are great sources of vitamin D. In terms of vegetarian food items, mushrooms actually are just one of the very few items which are good sources of vitamin D. So you must consume mushrooms if you want to not be deficient in vitamin D. Imagine having the same skin and hair care routine during winters and summers when it's 2 degrees and when it's 45 degrees. Is that even possible? Clearly no, because winters require special kind of care for your hair and your skin. And if you want tips on how to go about ensuring healthy skin and hair during this time, this report is for you. Winters are as much as about coffee, hot soups, comfort foods as they are about niggling hair and skin problems. The season also brings with it various hair and skin problems like hair fall, flaky skin, dandruff and dry skin. Our hair and skin need ample protection from the dry or chilly air that can leave the skin irritated and itchy. Why does winter dry you out? And why is care for your skin and mane in winters very different from what it is in summers?
Well, in the summers, the air is more humid, it's hot, you sweat more, so there's a lot more moisture in your skin. In the winter, the air is dry, we have heaters on, which dries the air more, so water is taken out from the skin. This is why it's different in winters and summers.
Doctors advise using humidifiers to maximize moisture.
Humidifiers add water into the air, so if the air isn't drying you out, the air is now moist enough that it doesn't need the water from your skin. Remember, water always goes from highest concentration to lowest concentration. So if the water in the air is enough, it's not asking for water from you. So that's why everyone should have a humidifier, especially in this dry, cold weather.
Doctors also say that excessive hot baths, as tempting as they are, might just dry the skin out. So how should skin be cleaned, particularly if it is dry? What ritual must you follow?
Most important thing is starting with the bathing process itself. Throughout the winter, everyone should take bath with lukewarm water and not hot water. This is the most important step. Second, use of any kind of harsh or fragrance containing soaps or body washes should be avoided. Only plain fragrance-free cleansers or soap should be used, and they may not be needed to use every day. It can be used alternate day itself.
Experts also say we need to remember to moisturize our hands given the frequency with which we are washing them. Sunscreens also are important even on grey winter days.
Do you know that UV rays are present no matter what the weather? So even if it's raining, it's snowing, it's cloudy, it's cold, UV rays are still coming down from the atmosphere. It does not matter that if it's hot or sunny or it's dry and dreary. It always will have UV rays in the air. Those UV rays are not visible, but they still exist. And they can still cause tanning, pigmentation, early aging, freckles, and even skin cancer. So wear your sunblock no matter what, because those invisible UV rays are everywhere.
Many cold weather fabrics can aggravate dry winter skin. Keep wool and rough clothing from directly touching your skin. Winter weather is the most common time for dry scalp, which is brought on by cold temperatures, overly dry heat, or nutrition. A dry scalp may also cause some itching and stiffness.
Eat lesser oily food, which we all love in winters. A very basic home remedy, which is my favorite, apply apple cider vinegar in your scalp. If you're an adult, above 25 I would say, you can apply apple cider vinegar overnight also. Otherwise, you can apply it in the scalp and shampoo, rinse after 1 or 2 hours. Use an anti-dandruff shampoo even if you don't have dandruff once a week. Rest of the time, use any other cleanser. Do not shampoo more than 4 times a week. If you are a gym person or somebody who really is an athlete or needs to shampoo more, please use rest 3 days, a clear shampoo, particularly meant for children.
You can reduce the dryness and dullness in your hair by opting for weather-appropriate treatment.
For this particular reason, one should use lukewarm water and not very hot water while taking a bath. As if we use very hot water, it can strip off the moisture from the skin and the hair and leave your skin dry and your hair frizzy. Also, it is important that after taking a bath, one should use a moisturizer immediately to lock in the moisture.
Taking proper care of your hair throughout the winter season is essential to ensure that your hair stays healthy and beautiful throughout. Come winters, aches and pains in your body and joints, specifically stiffness in your joints, become very common. This really isn't a figment of your imagination. The cold weather does aggravate many of these problems in those people who are already vulnerable. And that's the reason why we're trying to find some solutions on how to deal with these niggling issues. Stiff joints, body aches. Constriction of blood vessels can cause restricted blood flow to joints and lead to this, stiffness during winters. Are you in pain because it is cold outside? Be assured, it is not a figment of your imagination. Winter-associated aches and pains are real.
There is less of sunlight, so obviously there is less of vitamin D, and vitamin E deficiency can cause the increase in joint pains. There are few patients who are already suffering from rheumatoid arthritis or osteoarthritis. These patients tend to get more stiff joints in winters, which causes the increase in joint pains. And some studies have shown that pollution is a contributory factor for increase in joint pains in winter.
Often, drop in barometric pressure can cause tendons, muscles in the surrounding tissues to expand. Because of the confined space within the body, this can cause pain, especially in joints affected by arthritis. But there are things you can do to get rid of arthritis joint pain during winters.
Take good exposure to sunlight so that you get good vitamin D, which can help in controlling the joint pains or decreasing it in winter. Do good warm-up exercises so that your joints don't become stiff in winter.
Hydrate yourself. Staying dehydrated during winters only increases the joint pain. Therefore, make it a point to consume enough liquids even during winters. Prepare a warm bath. Warm baths relax you and give relief to the joints. Perform joint exercises. Moves which stimulate your joints, such as rotating your wrist, doing squats or swinging your body left and right. Wearing warm clothes will prevent joints from swelling up or causing any pain. You can also invest in some arthritis gloves. Consume foods rich in omega-3 fatty acids. Include food items such as walnuts, fish and flax seeds in your winter diet plan if you or your loved one is suffering from arthritis. These foods have the ability to reduce inflammation in the joints. When there is sudden change in temperatures and it drops, your body takes extra effort to stay warm, and that's when there is pressure on your heart. Your heart requires special care during winters. So do your different organs, like your lungs, for example. And those with asthma and bronchitis need special care during this time. Take a look. Winter health involves a lot of care for your heart, lung health and health of your ear, nose and throat, given the polluted air we breathe during this time of the year. Nosebleeds, usually associated with heat and common problem during summers, is actually a niggling problem in winters too. The heated indoor air may dry out your nasal passages and make the tiny blood vessels inside them more fragile. What then are the triggers?
The dust particles or smog particles, when they go into the nasal cavity, it leads to a lot of inflammation as well as lot of dryness in the nose. Too much of mucus is produced, which gets dried up and causing crusting. This leads to a lot of obstruction and sometimes nosebleeds.
The winter air outside is naturally dry and indoor heating makes things worse. In this situation, humidifiers come to the rescue.
The basic way of preventing is by using a humidifier in the home. Humidifiers, not only, especially when you're using a oil heaters or a heaters, the humidifier gives a wetness of the air which you breathe in.
Breathing easy gets more tough in winters for many. Breathing dry air can cause respiratory ailments such as asthma, bronchitis and sinusitis. Those vulnerable can see aggravated conditions like those suffering from asthma will see multiple allergies.
In the winter season, because many of us are staying inside, we take out our old clothes, the woolen clothes, where so much of these small reagents can be there, which can cause acute asthma.
Winters also aggravate bronchitis conditions, particularly in children.
Children are young, their lungs are still developing, so any exposure brings a lot of symptoms in them. And this winter and changing pollens, as they are more prone to allergic symptoms as well, so that brings more and more problems in them.
Worst, the winter air can harm your heart too. When there is a sudden change in temperatures, the body can make more effort to stay warm, and this is why there is pressure on the heart.
Cold air causes the blood vessels of the body to constrict, reducing their lumen, increasing the blood pressure and consequently the higher chances of stroke and heart attack.
Doctors say it is desirable to get a general body examination done at the onset of winter. Exercise done regularly is one of the best ways to keep the heart healthy. Vigorous exercises should be avoided. What are winters without your ghee-laden parathas and gajar ka halwa? But with all the warm foods comes unwanted inches and unwanted weight gain. This report talks about how you can still stay fit during winters even after enjoying all these foods. Also, we touch upon winter blues in this report. Winters synonymous with rich, warm foods and a lot of binge. Extra calorie intake, often because of mindless eating, often leads to excess inches and excess kilos on the scale. While hunger is an obvious reason why we eat, there are reasons not so obvious. Well, we often eat to ease stress or because of boredom. And that's the reason why we're going to talk about mindful eating today. Being conscious of what you put into your body is extremely important. What am I eating? Why am I eating this? Is this really healthy? Do I need to have a second helping? Do I need to eat so many portions? Whatever I'm putting into my body, is it really required? Do I need to eat so much, or is this just binge eating? Basically, depriving yourself of the food you enjoy isn't the solution. Eating in moderation really is. Also, conscious eating, which means not looking into your phone while eating your food, or not really watching TV while eating your food. You should just enjoy what's there in front of you, and remember to eat in moderation.
As long as I can manage my day's calories and I do not overgo it in a day, I'm doing absolutely fine. I'm going to be supplementing one meal with my favorite bowl of gajar ka halwa, or probably a good portion of besan ki barfi or til ka laddu. Plus, physical activity is important. I need to work out hard so that I can burn those extra calories and not feel guilty about it.
Eat when hungry. Eat to curb hunger and do not create huge gaps in between meals, say doctors.
Treatment of seasonal affective disorder may include light therapy, some kind of medications, and some kind of talking therapy or psychotherapy. In addition to what the treatment may be, one may try to do all these things or tips which I'm going to give you right now. So take break from news, decrease your screen time, have foods which are rich in vitamin D, such as fatty fish, fish oils, orange juice, milk, breakfast cereals, so on and so forth. Keep up with your sleep routine. Go to bed and wake up at the same time every day. So if you try all these things and still not being able to recover from these things, then you should probably seek some professional help from a psychiatrist.
Since winter blues are often associated with binge eating, here's what you can do to beat seasonal affective disorder or winter blues. That brings us to the end of this edition of Health 360. We hope you find some of these tips useful in helping you sail through the difficult winter months. Stay healthy. Thanks for watching.